Welcome to the Albert and Billy Show here on WUAT AM 1110 and Channel 18 ValleyTV and YouTube. How you doing, Papa?
I'm trying to keep up with you. We're on all that.
Yeah, and you knew that.
What?
I finally got you to understand what YouTube actually is.
I got to see once or twice.
Did you? For those of you that don't know already, Papa is very intimidated by computers. So much so that I don't know if he can even turn one on.
No.
But he's never even tried to learn, though, is what gets me agitated, because you would love it if you would just try it. But you won't even try.
You think I would love it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The internet, you would love it as much as you like to learn things, because it's information, more than you'll ever need.
You think
instead of having to look up books the hard way, you could just pull it right up on your computer.
Do you think I need to know something else?
Probably.
Okay. I'm very limited, aren't I? Am I not?
I didn't say that. The weather has been horrible this week, to put it mildly.
Horrible and mildly. All in one sentence. Look at that beautiful red tree.
Yeah, now today it's finally back.
It's about 55 degrees.
It's a little cold, but I'm just so glad to see the sun out, because it's been depressing this week. It's been gray, gloomy skies every single day this week until today.
I was going to mulch my leaves a while ago, put on my old pants, my old shoes, got the key to the lawnmower, and battery's dead. So I didn't get that done.
That sounds like a Papa day.
Yeah.
That sounds like an Albert day.
There's a lot of those.
Well, we got Thanksgiving coming up, of course.
Next Thursday.
Next week is Thanksgiving. So we'll wish everybody happy Thanksgiving a week in advance, I guess. So you'll get to hear happy Thanksgiving from us again, but I want to tell you some events for Thanksgiving, okay? We got the open table coming up for the Pikeville United Methodist Church.
Tuesday?
Yes, Tuesday. It's going to be on November 20th. It's a Thanksgiving feast with turkey dressing and all the trimmings, plus delicious homemade desserts. So come hungry to the open table at Pikeville United Methodist Church on Main Street, Tuesday, November 20th, from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and give thanks. Remember, there's no charge, no offering, no sermon. It's nothing but friendship and food, and everyone is welcome.
Cliff would know I'm a Baptist, wouldn't he?
He would know.
He would know.
He would know. And Thanksgiving Day, we've got we've got 4 total free meals.
Isn't that something?
Which is great.
I've never seen that.
Not 4, no.
No, I've never seen
now, I want to keep in mind, these are for people that, normally would not be able to go to their family's Thanksgiving. That's what this is intended for. Not people that go to Thanksgiving meals with their family. I hope nobody abuses. Yeah, sometimes you have people that abuse things like this, and they should be ashamed of themselves, the ones that do that.
Maybe they'll have a tummy ache.
Yeah, this is for people that really need it, that really won't have anywhere to go on Thanksgiving Day. This was the first one to come out this year, so that's the one I'll read. It's at Kimmy's Chicken Shack. It's for people that otherwise would not get a Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day, and Citizens Tri-County Bank is going to be supplying all the meat and drinks for this dinner that starts at 11 o'clock a.m. and it will last until the food is gone.
And he paid to put an ad in the Blitzonia so people would know about this.
She paid.
Or who will?
Yeah, Kimmy.
They took an ad out to let people know.
That's good. That's good. The more that knows, the better.
Yeah.
And then the other ones I don't have with me, but I know it's Mount Crest United Methodist is one of them. Wheeler Edition Church of God is one of them. And Lee Station Baptist, that's the other one. They're also having free Thanksgiving meals on Thanksgiving Day, and they also start at 11 a.m.
That is going the second mile. that is sacrificial activity, because they could and should be home with their own families on Thanksgiving Day.
That's right. I mean, they don't have to do this.
Right, they're sacrificing their comfort zone to get out
Absolutely
of it
right.
and make somebody else's zone a little more comfortable.
That's right.
And their bellies.
Yeah, and their belly's full. Full of turkey. They'll be nice and full and sleepy.
I think it is very commendable.
I do too, Papa.
I'm proud of all of them, and I'll try to make each one I can. We have the United Methodist.
No, he won't.
We have the United Methodist women having their pecan shipments already.
They're in now.
They're ready for Thanksgiving pumpkin pie. No, pecan pies.
Pecan pie sounds like to me.
And you may pick these pecans up at the Bilber Insurance Agency right here on Spring Street. And of course, it's just during their business hours. And so you pay $10 for a bag. The pecans are in the pound bags. That's for the halves and the pieces. Now, if you choose to go ahead and buy some little extracurricular activity things like glazed cinnamon pecans, you don't get a pound, but nonetheless you get a bag. And then if you like chocolate coated, you don't get a pound bag, but you get a generous serving. But they're $10 a bag, and you purchase them at the Bilber Insurance Agency. But this is all to benefit the United Methodist Women's activities at the church. So their hours are from 8:30 in the morning to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. But they won't be open next Thursday.
Gee, I wonder why. Thanksgiving might have something to do with that.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will.
Well, let's hear this week's
All right, I've got some
trivia
for you. And I think you should get all these. I really do.
Okay, I hope he's not being sarcastic.
No.
I guess we're about to find out.
What is currency called in Tokyo? What do you pay?
In Tokyo?
What do you pay with? You don't pay with a dollar bill.
I know, but I thought you were going to be nice and say England or Mexico.
Well,
Those are easier.
But
I don't know what.
in Japan?
I do not know. Because I know it's not pesos and it's not pounds, so I don't know.
That's it. You got two.
I know England and
I
Mexico.
didn't ask those questions. Well, in Japan, they pay with currency called yen. Y-N.
Yen.
I bet you did know it.
Maybe. But I don't think so.
I thought sure you know it.
I've heard of yin and yang.
And I think somewhere back in my recollector, I think I have used this word once before. You call the cookie that's made with ginger a ginger
bread. Man.
That's not cookie. Gingerbread, man, is a cake, and gingerbread is a loaf of bread. But a cookie is called a ginger.
A ginger what? Ginger ale.
Snap. Ginger ale. You're wanting to be funny.
I know that couldn't have been right, but hey, it was worth a guess.
Okay.
Ginger snap. Got
Ginger
you.
snap. Now I want you to tell me if you've ever seen Carolyn do this.
Okay.
When you see someone with their hands on their hips, what do you call that stance?
I don't know what the stance is called. They're mad.
They're okay. Carolyn got
It's
your
an angry
attention.
stance.
When she put her hands on her hip, she got your attention.
Right.
But what do you call for someone to just stand there with their hands on their hips?
I didn't know there was a word for that.
Okay.
Well, enlighten all of us and let us know.
All of us. Now, I bet your Lifeline would know that one.
Lifeline, what's this stance?
Akimbo.
That's what he did right there.
You're standing there with your hands like that. You're in a
Akimbo stance.
Being sassy is what you're doing.
There you go. That's
what she's
language I can understand. Akimbo. What the heck?
Akimbo. Okay.
Well, I've never heard of such.
The warrior princess in the comics.
Xena.
Xena, you got one. I knew you'd get that one. I really did.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Roman numeral XVI
I thought you said these were going to be easy.
Roman
I
numeral.
knew you were being sarcastic.
What's the Roman numeral?
X, V, I.
Lifeline.
X is 10, V is 5, I
16.
is 1. 16. That should not be hard.
Well, it was.
What's
Come on,
XIV?
14.
We're teaching you
Yeah.
Roman numerals
We're
today.
going to take the rest.
We got a voice in the corner. It's not even supposed to be talking about the trivia. If you're going to help me. Help Billy out, voice in the corner.
All right. If a woman is wearing a habit, what is she?
Okay, I
has
want to
on a
make
habit.
I want to make this very, very clear to you. Nothing about these questions are easy.
Is it,
Not
does it
one
have to do with
thing.
Religion?
Is it what?
Does it have to do with a religion?
Yes.
Muslim?
No. Habit.
Jewish?
It's a nun.
Well, I've never heard of a nun wearing a habit. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard of. Hey, look at that nun over there wearing a habit, y'all.
I don't see none.
Y'all see that nun walking down the street with a habit on?
I don't see none.
I've never in life heard
People
that.
say none, it says, and I don't see any. Okay. The Spock portrayer on television, his name.
Norman something.
No, not Norman. You can't tell me.
I didn't watch Star Trek.
You did not watch Star Trek.
No, I mean, I remember the characters, but I don't know their name
Spock,
in
he
real
was from
life.
another planet, and he didn't have any
Vulcan
emotion.
or whatever.
Yeah. And his name was Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy.
You learned.
William Shatner, I know, played Captain Kirk.
Right, so you did watch it some, or you wouldn't have known that.
A little bit, but I never could get into that show.
And he had a character on there named Scotty. Number one day.
I remember Scott. Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty. I remember that.
I remember that.
That's the only thing I remember about that. Okay. Comic book mutants.
Zombies.
That's a mutant. Okay. I've never read a comic book about zombies.
What did you read about?
Well, I read about
What's these mutants?
something from the animal kingdom. They were called ninja.
Oh, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, shoot.
That's a mutant.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a mutant.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's movies too.
Okay, there is a sport, and it's not marbles. There is a sport.
I know.
Hey, listen, I've got some people on my side on that now.
Are they just as delusional as you, Papa?
This week, I'm not lying.
Well, they're wrong like you are.
This is a sport, and
Because marbles is not a sport.
you shoot at the target, but you do not use guns and you do not use darts. So what else can you use to shoot at a target? It's a
A
sport.
bow and arrow.
Right. That would be called
Archery.
Archery. Very good. Now, that's two you got right.
Yeah, these so easy questions you was telling me about, they're not easy.
There is a nursery rhyme, and you should have had it told to you by your mother
Oh, what is it?
and your grandfather or your a trio.
A trio.
Three of them. Three
Blind mice.
blind mice.
Oh, well.
You got it.
Go Billy. Oh, Billy forgot to turn his phone off.
That is common for the course.
It's usually you. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
All of them. You got it.
I can silence my phone real quick, though. Well, I did pretty good considering they were not
They were
easy.
hard.
Like you said they were
But
going to be.
I don't.
So you're being sarcastic like I knew you were being.
I didn't have a reason to make them easy.
You never do.
These
Don't worry.
are just run of the mill. It's what
They
comes
just
out.
pop in your head. Yep. I hear that so much.
Where else would I get them, Billy?
I don't know. I've tried to think about where you come up with some of these things, and I don't know how you come up with it.
I'll tell you one thing that's really helped me a lot here lately.
What's that?
Is I started looking at my crossword puzzles. I've worked crossword puzzles for 50 years, and I never did realize that there's a lot of fodder for Trivia Pursuit. Trivia. Think of the word trivia, what we're doing. And I got to thinking, well, some of these clues I could use, and here's the answer when I get it worked.
Okay.
And it really has helped me a lot.
It'll help me, but I'm glad it's helping you.
Some of these didn't pop out of my head. These are some that I read.
Well, producer lady, are we doing sports or are we going to a break? Sport. We'll do sports before we go to a break.
Oh boy, aren't you glad we got sports to talk about? We got football and basketball.
I know it. I know it.
Isn't this wonderful? Tennessee beat
Men
Kentucky. And women both. They're ranked.
Well, yeah.
You're talking
they
football
should be.
now. You're talking football. I'm talking about basketball.
Well, I didn't know. You usually start out with football.
Basketball.
But you usually...
UT, the folks up at K-Town, they're ranked number 5 in the whole USA.
Knoxville's what he's meaning. He said K-Town.
That's not what that sounded like.
You think it'd be Kangaroo Town?
Sure.
You know, you would never have heard somebody say, well, I think I'll just send you off to Timbuktu.
I've heard yes.
There's a Timbuktu.
Yeah, like in Michigan or somewhere.
I don't know where it is, but I just saw it. But I mean, people used to say that, and they didn't know what they were saying. But the ladies are ranked.
Oh, they should be. That's not a big deal. They're always ranked.
Number 12, though.
And that's not nothing to be proud of.
No.
The Lady Vols should be in the top 3.
I believe they'll change.
Yeah, they'll probably go lower. No, I hope not. I really hope they get back on track this year, but it's hard to be confident with that current coach. It's hard to be confident. Hopefully she's turned the corner.
Well, we'll find out. They started out, they took on Presbyterian Sunday, and they beat the snot out of them.
They did.
97-49. Westbrook had 20 points.
That's good.
They had a lot of help. Along the way. And then Tuesday, they took on UNC Asheville.
They weren't impressive in that game at all.
Well, no, 73-46. They won by good margin, but
but
I mean, you're not playing a team.
That's like playing Lee Station.
Yeah.
I mean, it should have been a 100-point win there. And the second half, they got outscored by the other team. So they did not play good.
2 or 3 points, I think. But anyway, now they're going to be playing Clemson, and they're going to be playing UAB. They're going to be playing Oklahoma. They're going to be playing Texas. They're going to be playing Stanford.
That's all coming up.
Yeah,
wow.
You got all that. They're going to be in a tournament in the Bahamas.
Okay.
And there's where they're going to run into Texas, and there's where they're going to run into.
Well, they play Texas every year and Stanford every year, so it wouldn't be that one.
I guess it's Oklahoma and Clemson they're playing in the tournament.
That's what it would be.
These others are just on the schedule.
Yeah, they play Texas and Stanford every year.
This is a tough non-conference slate after you got past the first 2 or 3.
Oh, yeah, like, Texas and Stanford could beat them, and I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
No. No. Hopefully they don't beat them, but that's tough. That's 2 tough games right there.
But on the other side of the ledger, in the male quarters, you got a fella by the name of Grant Williams.
Yeah, he's a star.
He looked pretty damn good in 31 points in that first game. 31. 20 in the second game. Here's the thing about it. Last year, Williams only made 3 3-point shots for the season.
Well, he's not a big perimeter shooter.
He made 3 the other night in one game.
I like how your voice gets higher and higher for that one.
I can't understand that.
He must have. I know he must have been working on his shot.
Well, he has to have. Maybe he was encouraged to by his coaches.
Probably.
But I bet you they've been leaving it open.
Yeah. And
Daring him to.
yeah, they love for him to shoot if he's not good at it. Yeah, that 3-point shots.
So maybe he's going to have a whole lot better year on the scoring ledger, because if you make as many baskets per game as he usually makes, and you get one extra point every time you make that out there past that 23-point line.
Yeah.
23 feet. What is it?
This is not trivia. I don't know.
But if he makes a bunch of shots from out there, what I'm saying, he'll have one more point.
That's
in his
right.
total every day.
That's right. I'm glad he's added that to his arsenal.
Arsenal.
Now,
That's a good word.
Yeah. I can come up with those big words you come up with too. Don't start that. No. I always want to do trivia with me. I did read too where Westbrook worked on her shooting form with Rick Barnes.
Oh?
Yeah, I wish all the girls would do that, and then get them away from Holly, and they might learn something with Rick Barnes.
Well, you know,
She's a horrible offensive coach. I mean, I don't know what plays they run on offense, but
the thing
their
about
offense is never very good.
there's got to be a reason a coach is a coach. Mm-hmm. There's got to be a reason. It may be that he's got it all up in his head, or it may be he's good with X's and O's on paper. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it could be because they played the sport themselves.
That's right.
And they know how to do it. When I was in high school, that's 100 years ago, we had a coach. I didn't make the team, but we had a coach that could dribble down the court in the deep corner, stop, jump up, turn around, and shoot and make it. He would say to the team, they kept me out there to scrimmage because I was tall, I reckon. But he was showing them how to do it by doing it.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
That's impressive right there.
So some of the coaches, and then you see some coaches that are little short fellas.
I know.
And then
I
there
know.
comes these big old 7-footers. Don't make sense, does it?
It's kind of funny.
All right.
But I wish good luck to both of them. I really hope. It'd be nice to see a national championship again and something Tennessee related.
Marbles.
Besides that, non-sport.
UTC men won over the weekend. They beat some little Cumberland University, I believe. Really? I think that's who they played.
Probably.
You know.
Now their girls lost to Louisville.
Yeah, but do you know
that's,
who Alabama plays tomorrow in football?
UTC.
The Citadel. The Citadel's in the same league with
You've
UTC.
got to have some easy games, though. You've got to. I mean, it's kind of smart.
Well, yeah,
it's
but
kind of a rest.
You would think that as good as Alabama is, they've shut out the last two teams they've played, and then you're going to have a little school like Lee Station on your schedule.
Well, the Citadel does it because they make money.
I know why Citadel does it.
Yeah.
And I know why Alabama does it, but it looks ugly right now.
Oh yeah,
At this point in the season,
that could be 100-0 easily.
Okay, football. Now I never have liked to eat crow. Have you ever eaten?
I've never ate crow.
Have you ever eaten a plate full of crow?
No.
Well, let me tell you, last Friday, Billy Bridges and Albert Roberts said that Kentucky would beat Tennessee.
Yes, we did.
I'm telling you, I did not. I knew I'd seen one miracle this year.
Well, I've never been so glad to eat crow then.
There you go. I want another plate.
Because I'm very glad we were wrong on that.
Well, let me tell you, they didn't just.
They played like they did against Auburn.
That level of play was there for this game Saturday.
The problem is that level of play is just there, well, so far 2 times all year.
But now, do you think there's a factor thrown in here that Tennessee realized, the seniors particularly, they realized after the shambles they made of a season last year, but not winning a game in the conference, they've already won 2. They've got 2 left to go.
Yeah.
Don't you think they might think, hey, if we just win one more game out of these 2,
we're going to go to a bowl game.
We're going to go to a bowl game. And some of the bowls are hungry for Tennessee.
Yeah, because of the fans.
But you've got about 8 or 9 teams teams already eligible in the SEC. And if Tennessee can crop in there with a 6-6 record, and you've got 3 other
They'll
teams,
go. Tennessee will go.
They'll go to a better bowl
Yeah.
than some of the other teams with a 6-6 record.
Yeah, 'cause it's all about money at the end of the day.
Of course, last Saturday, we had to play in front of 86,000 fans.
Well, that's good.
We were short about 16.
But I mean, that's good considering the year we've had, the last 2 years we've had. They're lucky anybody shows up at all.
Those other 16,000 people were listening to you and me say they didn't have a
Well,
chance.
they're just done with it. They're fed up.
But anyway,
But I was so glad to see them beat Kentucky. And the Auburn win was also a really good win. Now we just need one more win. Be nice to get 2 wins though. Just go ahead and beat Missouri and Vandy.
First. And you know what? The thing about it is, here we sat and said there's no way we could beat Kentucky. Now here I'm going to say we can beat Missouri and we can beat Vandy.
I'm afraid to say it though. I know I'm afraid to say it because I'm afraid they'll turn around and play like crap against them.
But you know, against what was that team that we should have beat 100-0 that we just barely got by?
Charlotte.
Yeah, we only got 20 yards on the ground. We got 215 yards on the ground against Kentucky.
I know, but it's what I'm saying. Don't make sense. They didn't get up for that game against Charlotte, and it showed.
They were planning a game ahead. I mean, a game later down the road. Yeah,
They sure were. But it's nice to be on a 2-game winning streak.
2-game winning.
First time in a while. Maybe make it 3 this week with Missouri.
Well, Guarantano, how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, you're close.
Guarantano. He has not thrown an interception for 146 passes. He broke Casey Clausen's record. He had the old record. And he is now in possession of the record for Tennessee quarterbacks without an interception. He's thrown 146 passes.
I mean, that's good, but at the same time, nobody cares about that. Just get some wins, you know?
Well, that at the end of the year, that has more to do with the coaches in your contract, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. They need to win these last 2 ball games and get in a good bowl game.
But
or just get in a bowl game.
That's been 15 years, though. That record has stood for 15 years. That's pretty commendable.
It is. It is.
Think of some of the quarterbacks that quarterbacked.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, Georgia beat Auburn last Saturday. Alabama got their second shutout over Mississippi State. Florida won at home over South Carolina. Missouri won over Vandy.
I know, that's weird. That's the next 2 teams we play.
Missouri's already bowled eligible. They're 6-4.
I know, so Tennessee needs to go in as thinking like that whatever they thought against Kentucky and Auburn is how they should think these last 2 ball games.
Texas A&M, they got up to 6-4 by beating Ole Miss. And then Ole Miss fell to 5-5. So you've got Vanderbilt with 4 wins, and you've got Mississippi there with 5 wins. If they win 2 more,
I didn't realize Ole Miss was 5-5.
they're 5-5 with 2 left. Well, we're 5-5.
Yeah, but I knew we were. But
you would think, but looking at it, Ole Miss was not going bowling. Arkansas was not going bowling. Vandy's not going bowling.
no.
But a lot of that has to do with Tennessee. We got to play Missouri and we got to play Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's kind of in their own hands. It is, really.
Also in the state of Tennessee, Memphis won and UTC lost.
Who did UTC lose to? Oh, you don't know, do you?
Don't remember. Don't even remember.
Well, how'd you like that trivia then? You taste your own medicine there, Papa.
You could ask a whole lot more, I would know.
Was that it for sports?
That's it for sports. All sorts.
Of all
I didn't have any golf.
I can't believe it. No golf.
No golf. No marbles.
There will never be marbles. Ever. In sports. Because it's not a sport. It's a game. It's a game, it's a game, it's a game. It is not a sport.
I'm trying to think who it was told me this week that they were on my side. I believe it was Patricia.
Probably.
I need
Of course, she's going to be on your
I
side.
need somebody on my side.
Okay, well, we're going to go to a break, and after the break, we'll be back with some good old Albertology for you. That's coming up next, right here on the Albert and Billy Show. Welcome back to the Albert and Billy Show, and we want to thank our sponsors.
Got to.
Posh Beauty Company on Main Street. I want to thank Scotty's, also on Main Street, home of the Scotty Burgers, Papa says. He always makes me do this part. But notice how he'll chime in. Oh, you forgot that one. Now do this. I'm going to make you read them one day. Subway over on the bypass, thanks to Subway. Owner Susan Anderson. Bilberry Insurance, we talked about them a little while ago. They've got the pecans. They're over on Spring Street, owner Frank and Susan Bilberry. The Loom, our next door neighbor, right next door to us here at WUAT. Owner Judy Yates, go see her for quilts, flowers, alterations, you name it. She's got it.
All the sewing needs you could envision, they're there.
That's right. And also to some politicians, I guess you could say. Emma Boynton, thanks to Emma Boynton. Also thanks to Lisa Wheeler, Michael Walker, and Janice Sapp. It's Lola's right here on Main Street. She's got everything you can imagine in her store as well. And it's right here on Main Street. Go see Miss Lola at It's Lola's. And the Farmhouse Chandelier Cafe and Gifts with new owner Kim Campbell. And man, has she got good food.
She's wanting to sell you your Thanksgiving dinner too.
No, that's Kimmy's Chicken Shack.
She's wanting to sell you
Oh,
chicken
okay.
dinner. She will cook it for you.
On Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Or
I
maybe,
didn't
I don't
know
know.
that.
Might be the day before, but I saw an ad in the paper.
Well, I'll have to check that out because I'm sure it'll be good.
Right.
Because I know she's got some dang good broccoli and cheese soup. Maybe the best I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah. Me and Dina ate that the other day. It was good. And also Farm Bureau Insurance. Matt Massingale, go see Matt and his friendly staff down at Farm Bureau Insurance on South Pikeville for all your insurance needs. And Pikeville Family Dentistry, Dr. Lee and his friendly staff right across the street from us here on Main Street. And it is time for your favorite part, Albertology.
And I have something that is special. Since it's going to be Thanksgiving next week, I have this reading that I want to read.
Okay.
And it's entitled, Be Thankful.
Okay.
Fittingly so.
Yeah.
If you have a bad day at work, be thankful. Appreciate that you have a job. Some people don't. When you pay your bills, be thankful you can pay them. If you see a gray hair, be thankful. Think of the cancer patient in chemotherapy who wishes they had some hair. When you find yourself waiting in line at McDonald's, or you're getting poor service, be thankful. Think about the people who have no food to eat at all. These are sombering thoughts.
Yeah.
When you realize how much work it is to take care of a house, boy, and I'm really bad about that. But be thankful you have a house. Think about those who wish they had a house to take care of.
Yeah.
When you feel like complaining because you have to walk a long distance from your car, be thankful. Think of what it would be like not to be able to walk.
Right.
If you get irritated by other people's anger, apathy, ignorance, bitterness, or insecurities, be thankful. Think of what it'd be like. Think
such things could be worse.
You could be one of them. And when you think everything in your world is terrible and you want to give up, think of the people who have been told they only have a certain amount of time to live. They don't want to give up.
That's true.
Your thoughts? What are you thankful for this Thanksgiving?
Wow.
Deep thinking. I don't know who wrote that. It was anonymous.
Okay.
It was anonymous. I don't know.
Oh.
You know Miss Oprah Winfrey?
Oprah.
Oh, she is one of the richest women in the world. I've got somewhere. I've got the stats on how much
She's worth billions.
Billions. But I work this puzzle every day, and I worked this puzzle this week, and this is what it says. You know you are on the road to success if you would do your job and not be paid for it. And she's the one that wrote that, Oprah Winfrey. Pretty good stuff.
That is, isn't it?
And Maryland.
It's easy to say though when you have billions of dollars.
Ask Maryland, what's the difference between America and the United States?
Well, that seems like a trick question.
Here's our answer. The term America, or the Americas, refers to all the lands in the Western Hemisphere. That includes the continent of North America and South America. That's the Americas.
Oh, well,
The United States of America, or the USA, is a country in North America.
Yeah.
But when people use the singular term America, most of the time they're talking about the USA. That's just what they're thinking when they say it. And did you know that the United States of America is the third largest country in the world by both land mass and population?
No, I didn't know that. I really didn't know.
I knew we had a lot of people here.
I mean, I figured it was, probably pretty high up there on that list, but I didn't know.
10 top colleges in the state of Tennessee are. Where do you think Tennessee?
How are they determining that, though?
They are determined. It's based on 30 key measures, including student selectivity. Why did the students pick these colleges to go to?
Okay.
Cost.
Okay.
Finance. Career outcomes. It's not just something foolishly put together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure.
Well, the graduation rates are very important. That's included.
Okay.
But anyway, here's your top 10 in Tennessee. I didn't realize we had this many colleges in Tennessee. Vanderbilt University is number 1.
Well, that's not really surprising.
No, it isn't, because I think that's when that's where your smart heads go.
That's where they go. That's right.
It seemed like here lately we've been getting some pretty smart heads on the football field.
I know it.
I never heard of Rhodes College. That's number 2. Rhodes.
No, never heard of that one.
I thought that was from Greece. Union University.
I've heard of that one.
We've had several people in our church go there.
Okay.
Union University. Maryville College.
I heard of that one.
But I didn't realize it was number 4.
No, I wouldn't have guessed that.
The University of Tennessee is locked in at halfway down. They're number 5.
Okay.
And that's your state college.
Yes, it should be on there.
That is the college.
Yeah.
It's university. There's a difference, I guess, in a college and a university. The university is larger, I'd think.
Yeah, and that's the state university, so it should be there.
Lipscomb comes in there at number 6.
David Lipscomb.
Yeah, and Tennessee Tech is number 7.
Not surprised by that either.
I am not either, because I have been reading more and more about people that's where they went.
Yeah.
Smart people.
A lot of people in this area went there.
But I've been reading about people that are high up in their career that they can trace their steps back to Tennessee Tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Bryan College, right over here at Dayton.
Yeah.
They're coming in there at number 8.
I think our producer might go there. I don't know.
Oh, you reckon? It's amazing how that college got to be where it is.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
And then number 9 is a Nazarene University called Trevecca.
I've not heard of that one.
I don't know where it is. And then Lincoln Memorial comes in at number 10.
I've not heard. Oh.
I've been there.
To Lincoln Memorial University?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a clue where that is.
Well, I don't remember where it was, but I think
I've been to the Lincoln Memorial.
The Lincoln Memorial. Okay.
in D.C., but I've not been to the university.
Okay.
Apparently, that's here in Tennessee.
Well, yes, it is. I want to talk to you just a little bit before we start on the jokes about John Steinbeck. I've got some of these famous people that never did get them all reported on.
Okay.
John Steinbeck was a very, very well-known author. He spent the early years in his life in the San Joaquin Valley in California. And the time that he spent there is going to embellish his ability to write about the Grapes of Wrath, which will come later.
Okay.
The Grapes of Wrath, I think, was his crown jewel of all his writing efforts, but it will come later in his life. But you had your migrant workers that worked there in California, and it was hard. And then he had a short stay at Stanford, put a couple of years in at New York, and then he started writing real good in 1935. I wonder what happened in 1935. And then he released Tortilla Flats. That's the first book he wrote.
Okay.
That was accepted. And then in 36, he was hanging around those folks farming in California. And that's when the Dust Bowl in the Midwest, Oklahoma, drove people to go somewhere to do something because the soil was gone. They couldn't plant. And so 3 years later, that's when he came up with the idea of writing about one family that lived there and their trek to California to the promised land. They'd been told, they'd seen all these flowers produced, that you could get all kinds of work in California. So they loaded up everything they had on an old vehicle and took off. and it's, the name of his Grapes of Wrath, Henry Fonda.
Oh, I've definitely heard of that one.
Henry Fonda was the lead character in the filming. And it was wonderful to read and wonderful to watch. There's just a lot of twists and turns in the movie, but anyway.
Really? I don't know that I ever watched it.
Well, he won the Pulitzer Prize for his work.
Okay, well, that's a big deal.
But the governor of California, governor of Oklahoma, didn't like what he said about Oklahoma. And so
really?
they really picked him apart for portraying them. Of course, his was a work of fiction. He wasn't making it real.
But they didn't like it.
But it appeared real because there was a Dust Bowl.
In Oklahoma,
and there were people that migrated west.
Yes.
But his was a work of fiction.
But still, the governor didn't appreciate it.
But the movie was a hit. And then after the war, he was, some of this took place during the World War II.
Yeah.
He came out with the Cannery Row and the Pearl and the Lifeboat. And his last book was Travels with Charlie. It came out in '62. He died at the age of 66. I'm sure he had a lot of writing left in his pen.
Yeah, at 66. That's young to die.
I started reading. I started reading A Christmas Carol last night.
Oh, okay. You do this
to read it every
year during the holidays. Yeah.
Because of his early commitments to write other articles. He wrote A Christmas Carol. I'm reading the book that someone gave me, and on the opposite page is his original page that he wrote, and then I've got it in type. Okay. Somebody gave me a book.
Oh, I wonder who she is.
But anyway, he wrote that book. He wrote the book in 6 weeks.
Smile. In 6 weeks.
In 6 weeks.
What, a Christmas Carol in 6 weeks?
Yeah.
That is
because
impressive.
He had other things he had to write.
And that ended up being one of his biggest hits ever.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
No, that's amazing.
Okay, let's do some stories.
Oh, that's impressive. I don't think did you finish it though? Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, he died. So he died of at 66.
That's young.
Yeah.
That's young.
All right, stories and they're not stories, they're jokes.
Shows. Okay, I've got
That's
some,
funny in itself that you call them stories.
okay. I've got some Reader's Digest articles here.
I saw Miss Emily Howe yesterday.
yeah. She sat by me. I sat by her Sunday at church.
Yeah.
And I said something about the Reader's Digest articles that I had read from.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I heard you.
That's what she said. She said, you tell Albert to quit using my name. She didn't blame me.
Okay. Tourists are at a natural museum of history and they're looking at dinosaur bones. And one of them asked one of the guards, can you tell me how old those dinosaur bones are? He said, sure. They're 65 million and 11 years old. The little boy that asked it said, that's an awfully exact number. How do you know their age so precisely?
Yeah.
He said, son, when I went to work here, they were 65 million years old, and I've been working here 11 years.
That's pretty good.
That's a good way to keep up with it.
I like that.
As my two sons were climbing into the back seat of our car, Eric, he's age 5.
Okay.
He said, I'll call the left side. He wanted to ride on the left. That didn't sit well with Ron. He was just 4. And Ron said, no, I want the left side. I want the left side. No, I want the left side. So the father intervened and he said, since Eric is older, he can have the left side. Eric said, thanks, Dad. Now, which one is the left?
This is fighting over nothing.
That's
pretty good, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
My husband and I were daydreaming about what we would do if we won the lottery.
I think a lot of people do that.
It's fantasizing.
It sure is.
So I started.
Not to interrupt you, but before you say that, did you see where in South Carolina all this money has been won the lottery and nobody's been to claim it yet?
They might have died.
It makes you wonder. You know, a lot of people say they'll do it and they'll say, oh, I'm not going to win. And they'll throw it away.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if that's not what happened.
Or they might have got the news that the one had a heart attack and died.
Well, they could. That's possible.
But the husband and the wife were having a discussion about what they'd do if they won the lottery. So the wife says, I'd hire a cook so that I could just say, hey, make me a sandwich.
Yeah.
The husband shook his head and said, not me, I already have one of those. I'm good at making sandwiches. I was admiring my aunt's necklace when she surprised me by announcing, I'm leaving it to you in my will. Mm-hmm. Oh, she was so overjoyed. She said, perhaps too much. She said, I'm looking forward to that.
She might have just lost that necklace right then and there.
Okay, years ago, my elderly neighbor mentioned she had been trying to locate a cricket that had found its way into her home.
Okay.
After several attempts to find it, she gave up. And her husband named the cricket, Jiminy. Jiminy.
Gee, I wonder
So the
why.
pair began talking to him whenever he chirped. And so we were having coffee in their kitchen one evening, and the chirping began. Mm-hmm. And her husband introduced me to their new friend. That's when I had to tell them that their smoke detector needed a new battery. That's bad. How did you get that bad?
That's so bad it's good. Hey there.
Okay, here's some of mine now.
Okay.
An elderly couple had been married for more than 60 years. And throughout their marriage, they'd shared everything, talked about everything, kept no secrets from each other.
Right.
Except the woman had a shoebox in the top of her closet that she had cautioned her husband never to open or ask her about it. So then one day, the lady got sick, very sick, and the doctor came to visit in the home, and he said, well, I'm going to have to tell you, she will not recover. So in trying to sort out their affairs, the man took down the shoebox and carried it to the wife's bedside. And she agreed that it was time he should open the box and he should know what's in it.
Yeah.
So when he opened it, he found 2 crocheted dolls, very small dolls, crocheted, and $95,000.
Dang.
So he asked her about the contents in the box, because he knows she's going to die, and she knows she's going to die.
Right.
So she says, well, when we were married, my grandmother told me the secret to a happy marriage was to never argue. So she said, if I ever got angry with you, that I should just keep quiet and crochet a doll. And the old man was so moved, he had to fight back the tears.
Oh.
Because there were just 2 precious dolls in that box.
Oh, yeah, so he's thinking, well, she didn't get mad at me very often.
She'd been only angry with him 2 times in 60 years of marriage. And she must have really loved him to put up with him, and he's just tickled to death. He burst out what happened. He said, honey, that explains the dolls.
Yeah?
But what about the money?
Oh, no, what about the $95,000?
Oh, that's the money I made from selling the dolls.
No. That's the best one yet.
That would be Albert and Carolyn. Oh, mercy. All right. Let me give you some more.
Yeah, let's hear 2 more.
Okay. Mr. Blevins was always trying to find ways to impress his boss.
Okay.
His boss's name was Mr. Jackson. So one day after work, Mr. Blevins needed to get a message to Mr. Jackson.
Right. Mr. Blevins needs to get a message to Mr. Jackson.
That's his boss.
Okay.
He called the office, but Mr. Jackson had already gone home for the day. This was a very important message that Mr. Blevins wanted to call and tell him about. So he called his assistant to track down Mr. Jackson's home phone number. And he got the number. So he dialed the number and let it ring 3 times. On the 4th ring, a person picked up the other line. Hello, said the voice on the other end. Hello, this is Mr. Blevins. I'm looking to speak to Mr. Jackson. I'm sorry, my daddy isn't home right now, said the little boy's voice on the other end of the phone. Well, that's okay. I'll just leave a message. So Mr. Blevins launched into all the reasons for the call. The meeting the next day, the product demonstration they needed to be ready for, the consultants who needed to be picked up at different airports. Finally, he paused and asked, did you get all that?
I doubt it.
What was your name again? The voice on the other end said, I'm Mr. Blevins, he replied. How do you spell that? B-L-E-V-I-N-S. How do you make a B?
I had a feeling that he wasn't getting any of that wrote down.
Mr. Blevins.
You're telling that to a kid.
Mr. Blevins is in trouble.
Big time. Big time.
Listen, I got time for one more.
Yeah.
One more.
You do, yes.
A supervisor decided to award a prize of $50 for the best idea of saving the company money.
Okay, that's smart.
So it was won by a young executive who suggested reducing the prize money to $10. The boss gave him the award. I'll give it to you. You get $10.
Everybody else was ready to stomp him. Well, those were good. As always, I get told all the time how, people enjoy the jokes. That we end with the jokes. So
I think it's good.
people are enjoying the jokes. I assure you of that. And I want to say hi. I'm going to say hi to Ruby. We haven't heard from Ruby in a long time, right? Have you?
Well, I reckon she's mad at us for not getting in touch with her.
Well, I hope not, because I've said on here I'd love to hear from her. So hope all is well with you, Miss Ruby in Dunlap. Hello, Miss Ruby. Big fan of the Albert and Billy show, so I just thought I'd give her a shout out. I was hoping she would be at the 100th episode, but I'm sure she's got to watch it. So hope all is well with you, Ruby, and hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Let me say one more thing. This is the fall of the year. Christmas candy is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving is not a time for candy, but you associate corn with Thanksgiving. The Indians, the corn,
You do?
and all that.
Oh, okay.
I want to tell you this about candy corn. 35 million pounds are made every year. 35 million pounds of candy corn.
That's a lot of candy corn.
9 billion pieces, enough to circle the moon 20 times.
Really?
And it was originally called chicken feed. Candy called chicken feed because it was supposed to be corn, and it looks like a kernel of corn.
No offense to candy corn, but it tastes horrible.
Oh, I love it.
You love it?
I love candy corn.
Allie, do you like candy corn?
Yes. It's a
Well,
good,
maybe it's just me. I don't like candy corn.
if they make 9 billion pieces a year,
Somebody's liking it more other than you and Allie. Okay. That shocks me. Well, thank you guys for listening on WUAT radio and watching on Channel 18 Valley TV and YouTube. And we will see you again next week. So long, folks. That's it for the Albert and Billy Show.